let's see if anybody hears me today. Or anybody wants to hear me today. People at home get like that, you know. So you never know. Don't assume anything. I remember there's an old thing. Remember, if you write out assume, it says you make an ass out of you and me. That's what it stands for. ASSUME. So don't assume. Don't assume anything about getting money either. You have to go check that stuff for yourself. It's going to take work. Yeah. But make sure you can hear me first before I get into getting out of jail free card. That's right. I guess you do, Betty, don't you? Do you hear me? By the way, everybody's been so nice and they're sending me notes about your appreciation of the stuff I'm doing. Man, I would do this for free. But I thank you so much. I mean, that warms my heart more than all the money you could give me, to tell you the truth. And I just appreciate it so much. I don't know how to tell you that. But just thank you, thank you, thank you. And I've done a lot already in life, and man, I just feel like I do so much more. And you're giving me the feedback and the food. This is food for my soul that you give me to do it even more and better. Now, let me tell you about something I was reading about today. It's about community bail bonds or community bail funds. It is. I mean, we spend like, I think it's $14 billion a year keeping people in jail because they can't afford bail money. Okay. So who can't afford bail money? Okay. The person that got in trouble is trying to survive, right? And they screw up and they get thrown in jail. So they can't even keep a job together. They can't even keep their family together. They can't even do all the things they should do because they're in jail and they don't have whatever it is, $500, $50,000 or whatever, to get out on bail until they go to trial. So what has happened, okay, the government didn't do it, so the communities are doing it. Now there's 80 some community bail funds, not bonds, funds, Funds. So if you're worried about going to jail, particularly you're not paying your bills or your rent or things like that, and what goes through our head is, oh God, what's the worst thing that can happen? You know, I'm going to get sued and I still can't pay. And then they're going to throw me to jail. Okay, and then what you do to figure that? Well, here, you go to this website, communityjusticeexchange.org. Okay, communityjusticeexchange.org. Communityjusticeexchange.org. And what they have there is the National Bail Fund, Fund, like in fund, as in money, network. And that's there at the communityjusticeexchange.org. And you go, they have a state by state listing, and there are really two categories of bail, of money to pay your bail. And one is for pre-trial, and the other one is for immigration problems. So, I mean, we have, 100 million people, or 10 million people, I think, that are run around the country without, legal, entrance. And we have ISIS running around, throwing people in jail. So what are you going to do if you hear you're making low income, you can't work because they throw you in jail? Well, then there's a fund for that, and they're all over the country. So if you go to this website called communityjusticeexchange.org, you could find the things in your area. And I was just looking, like the websites that are available in Minneapolis and Chicago, like almost $30 million they give out. Man, $30 million in 1 year. That's how much they raise to give to people to get out of jail. You know, this is your ultimate get out of jail free card. Remember playing Monopoly as a kid? And it's get out of jail free. And actually, if you Google this, and I didn't do it myself, so you tried, you do it like bail, pay bail. Well, you're going to get all the bail bondsmen. Why are you going to get out of all the bail bondsmen? Because bail business is a $2 billion industry. Billion. So they're making money. And when you put up your bail money, you don't get it back. You don't get it back. So that's gone forever. So no matter who the heck you are, and I'm sure there's requirements for each of these, so you have to figure out what the requirements are, where you live. But you go to that communityjusticeexchange.org to find the ones near you and see what the requirements are for getting your bail bond paid for free. That's right. Who would have thought? Bail bond, get out of jail. Yeah. Community Justice Exchange. Community Justice Exchange.org. CommunityJusticeExchange.org. Okay, that's where you go. And then you got some other information. And if you want to donate, of course, these are all nonprofit organizations. See, this is what's picking up the slack. When the government doesn't do something, we're clever enough as a society to find out how to do it. Excuse me. Hope it's not a virus. And that's another thing about going to jail. You'd be more inclined to pick up a virus there in jail. So another reason you don't want to sit there, even though you are right? So that's a oh, good, just a tickle in my nose. So that's to help you with pre-trial problems. So your problems begin pre-trial, and that's the way how to take care of that. So there's always some place to go. There's always alternatives you don't know. There's always alternatives they're not advertised. That takes work at, and that's what I do with Let's Go Help. Our closed Facebook book is to show people other things. But if you don't want to join their camp, I understand. Don't worry about it. I'm going to figure out how to eat. What's more important is that you figure out where the help is, and that's why I hope the videos here on YouTube. And by the way, I just found out. I was putting some videos on Vimeo, Viemo, is that it? And now they're charging. You can only get 30 days free there. So if you were using any video, let me know, because I'll move it over to YouTube, which at least is free because they're selling ads and all that kind of stuff. And that's how they can make it for free. So remember, there's a lot of sources out there, and I had a good list the other day. Go back a few videos and see that list of about 300 sources of nonprofits that are giving out COVID grants for emergency. Everything from health, fitness, people who can't work there, or even maids and things like that who can't work anywhere. There's so many things, that are in all these programs that Candid. It was learning.candid.org. Learning.candid.org. CANDID. And if you put in emergency funds, they have a listing there that I copied and have the list of. If you look back in the last couple YouTubes or on Let's Go Help, just ask me for the list, and I'll send you the whole list. I have another one I'm working on. I should get out in the next day or two. But I got to answer all your questions first, and that's really the joy. When you ask me a question on Let's Go Help, I think about, oh boy, this person has a problem, and they think the problem is, and that's not a problem, don't worry about it, that you're asking me a question about a source of money to solve a problem, and that problem can be solved some other ways sometimes too. You need more income. Oh, heck, if you can't get $50,000 right away to solve that, here, I'll show you how to get a $50,000 course for free, that in 6 months you could start making that kind of money and get out. So there's always other ways to solve a problem, and your mind has to be open, to realize and to explore those if the first way doesn't work. That's the neat thing about failing. Failing teaches you what you should have asked it the first time, but you didn't know to ask. Whoa, look at that. This old man's falling apart. But it sure is fun. And thank you for making my life fun. And I hope I can do the same for you. Talk to you soon.